Damn, that injury bug hit early. And usually we don't see injuries for like another 2 to 3 weeks. What is up, everybody? My name is Advance, and this is Advance Sports Talk. Alright, so NFL Week 2 has wrapped up and commenced and wrapped up, excuse me. And man, as I just stated, man, there is a plethora of injuries this week. Starting with the most influential, Cincinnati Bengals lost Joe Burrow. And you know, I always say Joe Burrow's existence in my top 5 list is strictly because of his importance to that team. And yeah, we're going to see it, because when Joe Burrow is healthy, the team can go to the Super Bowl. When he's not healthy, goes downhill. Minnesota Vikings, J.J. McCarthy, he had an ankle sprain. Washington Commanders, Jaden Daniels, that's going to be a hit. The New York Jets lost Justin Fields. That's that could be a hit. And the San Francisco 49ers lost Brock Purdy. Man, like this is crazy. Yeah, Jaden Daniels had a sprained knee. His status for Week 3 is uncertain. Justin Fields is in concussion protocol. So, you know, concussion protocol is 7 to 10 days. Well, so he could, at the very earliest, he could miss. Well, actually, no. If it's, I can't remember if it's 7 to 10 days or if it's just 10 days, but he could potentially miss Week 3. So get ready to see him on Week 4. Let's see. Brock Purdy dealing with an injury of turf toe. Yeah, timeline is week to week. But yeah, Joe Burrow, they said they expected him to miss 3 months. So yeah, there goes the Bengals season. All right, just immediately start prepping for next year. Oh, so we got Carson Wentz starting for the Vikings. Okay, that could be good or bad. That could be good or bad. You know, he's had a minute to sit out, reflect on things. But in any case, we're going to get to these scores and these game breakdowns. So we're going to start off with Thursday Night Football. And I've realized after my last video, I remember why I used to break these up into primetime and Sunday games. So, but nevertheless, we're going to start with the Washington Commanders versus the Green Bay Packers. I believe this was the Green Bay Packers home opener. And yeah. So the Washington Commanders had a very dominating performance over the New York Giants. And you know, when you have a performance like that and they got to turn right around and play on Thursday night, yeah, it's it's usually not going to go so well. But yeah, Packers ended up winning 27-18. Now, the score makes it appear as if it was close, but it wasn't. Yeah, so it was like the Commanders. It was taking them way too long to get something going. So you know, Jaden had 200 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Jordan Love had 292 yards and 2 touchdowns. Austin Eckler, I believe, got hurt. Yeah, he has an Achilles injury. So, yeah, he was placed on IR, so he's gone for at least 4 weeks. Yeah, Josh Jacobs, I forgot that they got him from the Raiders. So that's a suitable replacement for Aaron Jones. Josh Jacobs, 84 yards, 1 touchdown. Zach Ertz, it's still Zach Ertz. Yeah, Tyler Kraft though, 6 receptions for 124 yards and 1 touchdown. And man, yeah. So this was a good performance by Green Bay. Green Bay is 2-0 now. Yeah, they are. They probably gonna be the favorite. Well, they are the favorite to win the NFC North. Now, with the addition of Micah Parsons, who had showed up and showed out in this game. Let me see if I can find his stats real quick. Oh, he ain't have any. I thought he had a sack that game. Some tackles at least. Okay, that's why he wasn't showing up in the game log. All right. I'm about to say, I know he's on the team, but in any case, with the addition of Micah Parsons, Green Bay is clearly slated to be a favorite to win that division. They might be slated to favored to get the top slot in the NFC. But hey, we'll see. We shall see. All right, so now we're gonna roll into the Sunday night games or the Sunday games. All right, we're gonna start with Baltimore Ravens versus the Cleveland Browns, and this time they left nothing to chance. They said no. We're gonna keep scoring. We're gonna do the same thing that we did last week, and we just gonna keep the pressure up. They ended up beating the Browns 41-17. Man, Devontae Walker. I might have to see if he's on my waiver wire for fantasy. Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins got touchdowns. And Dylan Sampson. Yeah, this was Joe Burrow's return to Baltimore again. And there was a very heartfelt moment, you know, with Lamar Jackson giving him a hug, obviously thanking him for the opportunity, because Joe Flacco was such a good sport when they drafted him. He wasn't tired, he wasn't butthurt about it or nothing. Like certain other Hall of Fame quarterbacks that we know when their replacement was drafted, who was also the draftee of a Hall of Fame draftee replacement of a Hall of Fame quarterback. Oh man, but in any case, nevertheless. All right, so yeah, but Ravens won 41-17. They was like, no, this week we gonna score 41 points. We leaving nothing to chance. Yeah, Flacco had 199 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Lamar Jackson had 225 and 4 touchdowns. Derrick Henry didn't do too much this game, but I guess yeah, Cleveland is set up to stop the run. But moving on. All right, we got the LA Rams versus the Tennessee Titans. Rams beat the Titans 33-19. Yeah. Oh yeah, there was a Davante Adams sighting. I forgot he was. That's where he ended up. He went over there with them. Man, Matt Stafford, 298 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Cam Ward, still figuring it out. You know, figuring things out. Tony Pollard, 20 rushes, 22 yards. That's pretty good. You know, he's yeah, but he got to do better though. Got to do better. Calvin Ridley, I believe. Yeah, 3 receptions for 57 yards. So I'm looking at this right now, and I can see that's quarterback cohesion. So yeah, we're gonna track that week to week. Of course, I'm looking at Tony Pollard and Calvin Ridley because they're on my fantasy team. But yeah, all right. Next, Seattle Seahawks versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, and yeah, it looks like Aaron Rodgers got hit in his eye on this one, like, cause yeah, the Steelers couldn't get nothing going. I mean, yeah, Seahawks beat the Steelers 31-17. Damn, Kenneth Walker ran wild, no pun intended. 105 yards rushing, 1 touchdown. Jackson Smith and Jigba, 8 receptions for 103 yards. I was just talking to my buddy last week about him. He said he's not really sold on him. He made sure to stay away from him in his fantasy draft. But, hey, he seems to be doing all right. Next, Buffalo Bills versus the New York Jets. Yeah, so Buffalo seems to be on a to maintain their supremacy over New York, over the state of New York. They beat the Jets 30-10, and this was when where Justin Fields got that Achilles injury, concussion protocol. Who was it that had no? Austin Eckler had the Achilles injury. So yeah, so we're gonna see. Tyrod. We more often than not, we're probably gonna see Tyrod Taylor this week coming up. Next, Chicago Bears versus the Detroit Lions. Detroit, tell me you mad without telling me you mad. It beat the Bears 52-21. Jeez. That's an ass whooping. Damn, that's one of those games where it's like by the time you get to the fourth quarter, you just practicing. Feel sorry for Caleb Williams. They trying to build a team around him though. Like so. Hold on, Rome Odunze, 128 yards receiving. But shit, Amon-Ra St. Brown had 115 yards receiving, 3 touchdowns. Rome had 2 touchdowns. So 2 versus, yeah. Hey, Chicago could have a squad. Like 21 points would be respectable. They'd be respectable if they was facing anybody else. But god damn. All right, so next game we got the New York Giants versus the Dallas Cowboys. And man, this was from what I understand, this game came down to the stretch. Like Russell Wilson had to come all the way back. They ended up taking over, and Malik Neighbors went off. And yeah, Malik Neighbors is the only reason why one of my teams lost in fantasy this season. But yeah, so Russell Wilson balled out of control. 450 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. Dak had 361 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. Malik Neighbors, 9 receptions for 167 yards, only for the Giants to lose by 3. Man, Brandon Aubrey kicked 2 back-to-back field goals. Wait a minute, hold up. How did that happen? Oh, no, it was overtime. Okay, I see what happened. Yeah, so they kicked it, went into overtime. Okay, yeah, there was a little separation right here. So they tied it up with 5 seconds left. And then the overtime, I'm sorry, if you look at how it looks on my phone, you see, I was confused because I was like, wait, how they kick 2 field goals within a second of each other? But no, I didn't see it. But no, but in any case, damn. Yeah, so they tied the game up and then they went into overtime. So Dallas tied the game up and then they went into overtime. Man, oh man. All right, next, San Francisco 49ers versus the New Orleans Saints. 49ers beat the Saints 26-21, and this was when New Orleans got the I'm sorry, not New Orleans. This is when Brock Purdy got that injury. So, damn, Mac Jones, 279 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. Okay, all right, that's that Alabama NCAA national championship coming out you. Hey, all he needed was a change in scenery. And you know what? And it's funny because he ended up going to the team that everybody speculated that Tom Brady was going to go to, which is ironic because the Patriots drafted him to replace Tom Brady. They eventually step into those shoes, but we know what happened. Speaking of the New England Patriots versus the Miami Dolphins. Patriots won 33-27. Drake made 230 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Tua Tagovailoa, 315 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Man, that was a shootout. Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Cincinnati Bengals. What we got here? Bengals beat the Jaguars 31-27. And like, if you're gonna go out the way you go out, you gotta win the game. Joe Burrow caught a turf toe injury, so he's going, like I said before, he's gonna be out for like the next 3 months. So that's their season. But we're gonna see what Jake Browning does, because these numbers are impressive. 21 for 32, 241 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Can't throw 3 interceptions though. Can't throw 3 interceptions. That's not good. And look, Trevor Lawrence had the reverse. 271 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. So, Jamar Chase went out of control. 14 receptions for 165 yards, and 1 touchdown. Nice. Next, Carolina Panthers versus the Arizona Cardinals. All right, so Cardinals beat the Panthers 27-22. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about Bryce Young's numbers. 35 for 55, 328 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. So the numbers is important, but the average not so good. Meanwhile, Kyler Murray 17 for 25, 220 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. So he's got a better completion percentage, but yeah. Cardinals beat the Panthers 27-22. Next, the Denver Broncos versus the Indianapolis Colts. I was about to say Colts beat the Colts. So I was looking at the logos. That is funny that they both horses though. The Colts beat the Broncos 29-28. So let's see. Yeah, Bo Nix 22 for 30, 206 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Daniel Jones, 23 for 34, 316 yards passing, 1 touchdown. It looks like the majority of that stuff came on the ground. Yeah, 2 field goals. Daniel Jones rushing touchdown. Jonathan Taylor passing touchdown. Field goal. Yeah. So, all right. Hey, however you get it is how you get it. Next. I think this was the game everybody wanted to see. The Philadelphia Eagles versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Oh, man. Yeah. So, Eagles ended up beating the Chiefs 20-17. Yeah, it was tied up 10-10 going into halftime. Then the Eagles kicked a field goal in the third quarter, and it just seemed like it was really tough defensive battle on the part of both teams. But then the Eagles got a touchdown in the fourth quarter. Yeah, Jalen Hurts. I mean, the thing, if it's on the 1 yard line, you might as well just chalk it up because you already know what they're going to do. It's the brotherly shove. Oh man, but yeah, So and then they got the all right. So the Chiefs got a touchdown with 3 minutes left. They tried to do an onside kick, but it ain't work. The Eagles ended up recovering it, and They just kneeled out the game. To which we got a hilarious soundbite from Chris Jones to Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts saying, no, Chris Jones telling Jalen Hurts, trying to remark on his performance, saying, "You ain't even got 100 yards." To which Jalen responded with, "Yeah, but we won the fucking game." For the record, Jalen was 15 for 22 for 101 yards passing. So he absolutely did get 100 yards. Oh, man. All right, so now, Sunday night game. The Atlanta Falcons versus the Minnesota Vikings. And the Falcons, after losing how they did last week, they was out for revenge. And they dominated the Vikings 22-6. And of course, this was when JJ McCarthy got hurt. So next week we will see Carson Wentz, and we're gonna see how Carson Wentz does with weapons like Justin Jefferson. All right, 22-6. Like I said, all right. So now we're going to move over to the Monday night games. We got Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the one of the double headers for Monday night. Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Houston Texans. And we had to get our get back. We had to get our get back from how they did us a couple years ago. And I saw how the placement that we had on the schedule. I was like, you know what? CJ Stroud is a rookie. I hope that's not the game that he figures out how to play in the NFL. And I'll be damned if that was the game how he figured out how to play in the NFL. They treated us like practice dummies. So we had to get our get back on them. We had to get our get back on them. And you know what? And Baker proved that he can shake and bake, because he led yet another game-winning drive. It's 2 weeks in a row. Now, I don't like it when it comes down to the wire like that, but hey, if we can perform, we can perform. We can't do that every game though, because that's going to wear down on our players as the season goes on. So, yeah. All right, so Buccaneers beat the Texans 20-19, and this would be our 5th straight season starting 2-0. Oh, hold up. Speaking of which, let me go back to the Eagles, because there was another significant milestone. They said this is the first time that Andy Reid has been 0-2 since his second season with the Chiefs. Because remember, the Chiefs used to be bad. They was bad. And yeah, so now they 0-2. All right, so now fast forward. And the LA Chargers versus the Las Vegas Raiders. And man, I don't know. The Chargers are charged up this season. They heard all of that shit that y'all was giving them these past seasons, despite how despite the fact that they was more productive than the Cowboys. The fans were still dumping on them. They referred to SoFi Stadium as people refer to the SoFi Stadium as the Rams' home stadium, and they forget that the Chargers even play there too. But man, Chargers beat the Raiders 20-9. Raiders, of course, coming off of that performance from last week. But man, Justin Herbert, this might be the best game Justin Herbert had. Well, no, he's had some games, but no, 19 for 27, 242 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. And man, this was not Geno's day at all. But yeah, I think all of the Chargers receivers showed out. Quentin Johnson, 71 yards receiving. Keenan Allen, 61 yards receiving. Both of them had a touchdown apiece. Ladd McConkey, 48 yards. I mean, he didn't get any touchdowns, but still, man, yeah. So that's it for the week 2. Of course, you know we're gonna do our Buck Dynasty breakdown. We're gonna break down the Buccaneers game, but yeah. So yeah, good week. We got several teams that started off 0-2, and you know we off to the races. The Chargers, like I said, they charged up. I don't know. We're gonna see. The way that it's looking, they might be the favorite to win that to win that division. Maybe I should do a division whatchamacallit, division guessing playoff picks for the division. All right, division winners. In any case, yeah, we're gonna I'm gonna toy around with that. We're gonna work something out. But in any case, my name is Advance. Those were my NFL recap for week 2. What did you think? Did your team win? How do you feel about the games from Sunday, Thursday, and Monday? Put your comments in the comment section down below. We're gonna chop it up. My name's Advance. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe on everything. I'm out.